You're listening to Talk of Champions, an Ole Miss Spirit podcast with Ben Garrett.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
Hello again, friends, and welcome inside, at least for me, not for Judd Utermark. Ole Miss slugging, do everything, slugger, I should say. But I'm inside the RiverLand Roofing Studios, the little house up top, RiverLand Roofing, for all your roofing needs, 662-644-4297. Visit them online at riverlandroofing.com. They power everything we do here on Talk of Champions. Judd Utermark is sitting beside me because of RiverLand Roofing. Our love to them. And also check out the Ole Miss Spirit, the website that I write for, the Ole Miss Spirit, omspirit.com. The food of on three. You sign up today for as low as $1. He's Judd Utermark. Hey, buddy, how are we?
Man, we're good. These birds out here seem like they're happy as well. So if you can hear that, then, my fault.
Hey, that's just adding some flavor. It just shows that Judd is a man who can please all, right? Like you're going to are you much of a hunter? Like, do you go out and do the hunting stuff? Like, do you kill deer and dove and all that?
Oh, yeah. So I spent some of my time growing up in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And for anybody that knows anything about Jonesboro, Arkansas, you got two Walmarts, you got Arkansas State, and you got duck hunting. So I grew up doing that. I still do that occasionally, but, finding time is hard now.
I guess I'm the only one who's never been about that life. I mean, I've tried, but look at me. I'm pale. I'm ginger. I was born and raised in New Albany, Mississippi. Still live here. Been working in Oxford for 20 years, and yet I'm not much of an outdoorsman. But we're going to get Judd and maybe Billy Landis at RiverLand. Somebody else, we'll go like shoot some stuff and I'll video the carnage. That'd be way more fun. Right. As we're starting this recording on late Thursday afternoon, Ole Miss basketball, before we jump into baseball stuff, Ole Miss basketball, which is already firmly in the NCAA tournament, just beat Arkansas with a last-second shot from Sean Pedulla, 83-80. Ole Miss has already won 20 games, probably going to end up being a 7-8 seed in the NCAA tournament. But Judd caught the tail end, man. Sean hitting that shot. Ice water in his veins. Judd is someone who's hit home runs of significance, who's stolen home. Those moments, just from an athlete's point of view, got to be pretty cool just to witness yourself.
No, for sure. And I think, besides the NCAA tournament, there's no bigger stage than the SEC tournament. I'm proud of Sean for hitting that shot. And, whenever I saw it, I believe they missed two free throws right before. And I was like, man, don't keep the door open for us because, we're going to end this. That it was just an awesome deal. I saw it in practice, so I only had a couple seconds to look. But, just proud of Ole Miss, proud of the basketball team, and, looking forward to seeing them go.
It's a really cool time to be an Ole Miss sports person. If you're a fan, if you're media, if you're a player, if you're a coach, however you classify yourself. Baseball is ranked. South Alabama was but Ole Miss baseball back ranked. Women's basketball going to the NCAA tournament ranked. Going to be a top 4 seed, hosting for the first time since 1994. Men's basketball for just the third time in 25 years. Firmly in the NCAA tournament, not going to the SEC tournament to try to earn its way in like they did in 2013. They're going there just to see if they can win it before going on and trying to go for the whole daggum thing in about a week's time. And then football, of course, won 10 games for the third time in 4 years. Finished ranked again right outside the college football playoff discussion as an Ole Miss athlete. And knowing this school as you have and been here for such a long time, I know that y'all are in the middle of the grime and the grit, man. And they are in the middle of the stuff, right? So y'all don't think of these big picture things, but as being part of this historic time for Ole Miss, I would venture to say we can at least appreciate it a little bit, right, Judd? I mean, it's pretty cool, man. Ole Miss sports. This is a golden era in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful time to be an Ole Miss fan. And I am an Ole Miss fan, even though I do play baseball here. I do enjoy seeing our other sports teams, succeed because I know a lot of people on those other teams. I represent our student athlete advisory committee, so I see a lot of people really every other week. We talk about certain discussions that need to be talked about, but I'm just proud of the way that Ole Miss has handled this. And the fans, it's really who we do it for. And I'm, super excited for them, super excited for Oxford as a community because when winning happens, it's good for the community. And, at least on the baseball side, because basketball's starting to wrap up, even though it's really in its prime, we have full confidence that, we're going to be the best in the nation and we're going to win a national championship.
See, and that's what you want to hear from a team that had probably the biggest game of the year so far. South Alabama, like, I don't want to minimize it because y'all are trying to win every single game you play. But in baseball, sometimes you go to South Alabama and just absolutely shit the bed. Is that all that happened? Or do y'all take anything else away from it other than it's just baseball and those things happen sometimes?
Yeah, it was our first real road trip. We went down to Arlington, but again, those were technically neutral sites. Everybody was on the road. This was our first real road challenge. How do we get there? With scheduling and with practice and being at the home field's disadvantage pretty much. So there's learning curves with that, learning experiences, and as I've mentioned, there's a lot of new guys and a lot of new faces on this team who got to learn what is it like to play in a hostile environment. And South Alabama showed up, their fans showed up, and they played a great game, and we didn't. And you have to appreciate them for hosting us and for playing well. But it's one of those things that we need to shower well, right? We take what there's winners and there's learners. And we had a lot to learn from last South Alabama game. But, just blessed and excited to be able to play Arkansas this weekend.
Yeah, number 3 Arkansas this weekend, starting SEC play, while Ole Miss basketball is in the SEC tournament. It's just getting started for you guys. And Arkansas is as tough a test as it can be to open things up. Team-wide is the focus. I know the focus is always just the next one and playing the best game for that day and things like that. But with the way things have gone, I would assume, though, y'all want to get off on the right foot and this weekend show that, this Ole Miss team is a team to take seriously moving forward, not just for getting things right and getting back to winning ways in the postseason, but also being a legitimate title contender. So for this weekend for y'all, I don't want to put too much importance on it because it's opening weekend of SEC play. But considering everything y'all been through, I mean, how eager are y'all to get this started? And, because the non-con's one thing, SEC is another. So to show that this team is for real, I mean, this is a top 15 team that can beat anybody that has the horses. What's the goal this weekend more than anything? Getting off on the right foot?
Yeah, absolutely. It's jumping off the bat early, starting with Friday night. And, in the SEC, really in any weekend series, winning Friday night is most important. And the statistics show it. The more that you can win on Friday, the more likely you're going to win the series. So, you can say that Friday has more significance than Sunday or Saturday is more, we're really just here to play our best baseball. And that's not the answer that, is sexy or is, going to be on the front page, but it really is the truth. We're just trying to play good baseball. And from an offensive perspective, having timely hits and timely hitting, that can be walks, that can be hit by pitches, but putting quality bats together. And then from the pitching side, it's just dominant pitching. And our team has really showed that all year. That, we obviously have Hunter, we have Riley, and we have Mason Nichols, who have been tremendous this year. And then the thing that I'm the most excited about and that I have been has been our bullpen, who's just been absolutely lights out. Guys like Braden Jones, guys like Mason Morris, who I've spoke about multiple times on this podcast, Connor Spencer. So many guys that we can rely on to come in crunch situations, which there's going to be a lot of crunch situations in SEC play, no matter who you play. So that's really, what I'm looking forward to. Obviously, playing someone else that has a SEC patch is always fun. But we did have a test also opening weekend of the year. We played a ranked Arizona team, a ranked Texas team, and a ranked Clemson team. And, getting that exposure early on in the season is definitely prepared us for what's to come.
Well, Hunter had his roughest outing to date last time out as Velo was a little bit down. We'll see kind of where that comes back against Arkansas. That's obviously the most important question. Is Hunter good? Does he look okay? And if he looks okay this weekend, if that Velo's back, there's nothing to be concerned about. But I will say when Mason Morris comes in, the first thing I thought was, well, there's Judd's guy. And for sure, I mean, he's an ascending player. He's a player that's really making a case for weekend inclusion as far as the rotation. When Mason, you knew Mason was coming, but when did you know that he turned a corner to a place where he's really something. He's made himself into something. I mean, when you're pumping 96 and you're doing it consistently, and you're backing up Hunter Elliott with it, I mean, that's nuts. That's depth that's some of the best depth you can have.
Yeah, it is a really scary matchup for any team that plays us on Friday. Um, and anything can happen, but you give yourself the best shot when you have the best pitcher in the country with Hunter Elliott, and then, arguably a top 5 pitcher in the country with Mason Morris coming right behind him. It really is scary. I've known Mason Morris since we were 7 years old, playing on our 7U baseball team, actually in Arkansas, and he has always had. He's always been the most talented player on the field, and this time he was shortstop. And if he was on here, he would say that he would want a shot at shortstop here at Ole Miss, and I believe him that he could play there. But he is so gifted and so talented, and I think the biggest step for him was really understanding what it becomes to be a pitcher, or what it means to be a pitcher. And with the addition of Joel Mangrum coming on the staff, I think that was the voice that he needed to hear about how do I become a big league-esque pitcher. And it's really shown, like you were saying, he's 96, 97. He hit 99 last weekend. His baseball is going left, right, up, down.
Everywhere.
He has location. He can hold runners on. He can field at his position. A way too early mock draft, I would have him in the first round. No, undoubtedly, he's just that dominant. So he's definitely been probably our biggest jump from last year when it comes to player development wise. And he's going to be a huge part no matter what role he has this year.
Protecting homes and businesses from the whims of nature, you need more than just quality materials. You require RiverLand Roofing. Licensed, insured, and certified, RiverLand Roofing offers not only the assurance of excellence, but a tailored approach to your unique structural needs and budget. To learn more about what RiverLand Roofing can do for you and the community, call them at 662-644-4297 or visit riverlandroofing.com.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question because it was presented to me on the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate of On3. Sign up today for as low as $1. And I had to think about it. Liam Dole is dominating for Tennessee. Andrew Fisher is over there. As former teammates in this transfer culture, somebody was like, well, can you imagine with this team with those two too? And my response was, well, those two guys both are kind of leading the charge to transfer after the year was over. Maybe I'm not trying to get you to tell on anything, but nothing like that. I ain't asking for that. But like, what is that like to balance rooting on a former teammate, right? But also Ole Miss is where it's at because of hard decisions it made, including, all you guys coming together. So no, this is our team and we're going to bring it back. I mean, what's that like? That's got to be interesting in the transfer era where guys can go anywhere. Wes Mendez at Florida State is another good example as well. Just dealing with former teammates having success elsewhere. And, the team construct has never been like this ever before.
Yeah, it's a very delicate situation, like you were saying, because you've been with these people for a year, sometimes multiple years, and then they end up transferring to a different school. I try to pride myself in being the best person I can be consistently, and I think my selfish desires and my selfish reasonings will sometimes cloud my judgment. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that so many people don't know. And not so much saying that this situation is one of them, but I don't know how you were really feeling inside, or there's so many, humans are so complex. So really our only job is to be able to deal and handle these rough situations and turn them into a positive. And I think we've done that, with the addition of Mitch Sanford and Isaac Humphrey, and getting Hayden Federico from the portal, and Cade Townsend, and all these guys. That's really all that you can control. As sad as it is, you'd love to see guys return. You'd love to see guys wear the powder blue, and the Ole Miss across their chest. But sometimes people do what's best for them in their situation. And I'll always root for them for their personal success. But if we're playing them, we're gonna win.
Yeah. Well, see, I said, like, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but my answer was, I don't know if this team will be better or worse. I know culturally this team is as good as it could be considering everything they brought back and fundamentally what y'all had to change, like strip it down to the studs in a lot of way culturally so that y'all could start to play different ball. Now, at the end of the day, all the culture stuff and all that that's not going to matter if y'all don't win games in the SEC.
Mhm.
So I don't want to, pretend. But
Yep.
I didn't like the way a few guys left and tried to lead a charge of transfers and stuff like that. And my point on the board on the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, for on 3 is when you have snakes in the chicken coop. I mean, how can you expect to get any of the eggs laid? You know what I mean? Like there's some things that needed to change, and that included the culture. And I think that's really what's been important here, because when you have a game against South Alabama like that, it could be easy in the old days to spiral. But all I thought with this team was like, oh, it's just baseball, bounce back, you got to win a weekend series against Arkansas.
Mhm.
It just seems like this one is better equipped to handle, like you said, those ups and downs that are going to come with the season, maybe than years past, because of the crap y'all been through, and y'all been through it together and stuck around together.
Yeah, for sure. And the change really is, you see some of those guys who end up leaving for whatever reasons they may be, and you're sad a little bit because, like I said, you've been with these guys for years at a time or months or however long it's been. But really, your goal is bigger than yourself and your friendship, as well as friends as me and Fisher were, and Doyle were, and Mendez and whoever else left. You have to put the goal of the team first, and our goal this summer was a reconstruction, and I believe we've done the best job that we could have with it.
Well, you're healthy as you've been probably in your career. Now, I don't want to speak too much for you. Who knows what you're dealing with underlying wise? I don't know. But I've been saying that you're following the Tim Elko track, and buddy, these home runs are on the Tim Elko track. How are you feeling, as far as your health and you're hitting the bombs? I mean, just in general for you, is it nice to see not necessarily perseverance pay off, but in a lot of ways, yeah, because I mean, look, man, you've been through a lot, especially with the injury bug, to get some run of sustained success. It's got to be encouraging for you.
Yeah, Tim's my friend, and it's funny because I got the mustache and
Yep.
I've had the injuries, and we
Yep.
play the same positions.
I know
no,
y'all
he-
don't have a captain, but like if y'all did, you'd be in contention. You know what I mean?
well, I appreciate that. Yeah, well, Tim's, like I said, a great guy, and he was one of the last captains of this Ole Miss team. And I honestly feel great. You have your nicks and your bumps and your bruises from the turmoil of the season, but underlying and structurally, I feel great. And even better than that, mentally, I feel great. Great where our team is at, great where I am individually. There's a lot of positives that I can look at, and I try to focus on those because, man, there's no point in wasting your time looking at the bad stuff. There's already too much that we deal with.
Well, you're coming along, man. You're rolling. I'm excited for you because every time you pull one 430 feet, with the launch angles, like I'm like, oh, I feel like I've done it too. Even
Yeah.
though that's not the case. Arkansas this weekend, like I said, number 3 Arkansas. I know y'all been preparing and things like that. The challenge in Arkansas, what have y'all seen from them, and just what are y'all expecting this weekend as far as environment and just getting this thing started? Because it's a different season, right? And it's something that y'all look forward to every single year. So to get it started against a caliber opponent, what's just the team-wide outlook and preparation for this? What are y'all expecting this weekend?
This Arkansas team, it's a great team. Like you said, they're nationally ranked, I think number 3. Am I right? Number
Yep.
3. Their most obvious strong suit is their pitching. And you can talk to any analyst or any college baseball follower, and they're going to say that they have one of the best pitching arsenals in the country. And it shows because they really are dominant year in, year out. They always get really, really good pitchers, and I think they develop them well. The one thing that I'm looking forward to this weekend is going out there and battling against the best competition possible. I don't know if they've released their starters yet, and I'm not even sure if we released our starters yet, but I'm sure that everybody knows what it's going to be. Y'all get it before me, by the way. So
Is that true? Wait, Mike doesn't even tell y'all. He just let y'all see for your. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, man. If we can't control what the starting rotation or even the lineup looks like. So why bother tell us beforehand? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And this weekend with the fans and the crowd, I honestly don't know what it's going to look like because you got so many people coming back from spring break. You have the locals who are going to want to watch the game. I'm curious to see what it looks like, with the fans. But, no matter what it is, we appreciate every person that comes out or even watches on TV. But, it is really cool having a packed out stadium for sure.
It's the best, and it only gets better once SEC play starts. The Open with Arkansas is just great, and I look forward to being out there and seeing you guys. And I know y'all got a busy weekend ahead. Sean Pedulla was actually I was trying to set it up for him to be a guest on Judd U, which is what we're trying to do. It's hard with him in season. Like we're trying to figure it's hard, but we were going to do a Judd U with Sean. It fell through. To see Sean hit that three, the first thing I thought was, I wonder if we could get him now. Like, let's go to the NCAA. You're not going to be able to, but like, we should go to the NCAA tournament. Yeah,
like, he's too busy hitting. He's too busy hitting big shots.
Yeah, that's big shots, and you're hitting freaking 450 tanks. You know what I mean? Was basketball? What was the number 2 sport for you?
Oh boy, I'd have to rewatch because I can play them all. You know that, Ben.
I know, but like, I could see you being like pretty pure, pretty slick out there with your shot. I bet you got some skill.
Back in the day, that's all I could do. My knees hurt so bad I couldn't go in that paint with those big bodies, man.
Oh, have you ever dunked?
Oh,
of course, but I like to hear because I will. There's one thing Ben Garrett will never do: dunk.
Hey, if anybody has any doubts or questions on whether I can dunk, go back to the Owen Pano Judd U edition podcast, and we talk about that a little bit. Make sure to go on there. You'll see my answer. You'll see Owen Pano's answer as well.
Yeah, because I think I asked it there. I was like, "Oh, can y'all still dunk?" I mean, that's where my brain goes immediately. It's like, what's the air like up there? You know what I mean? I'll never know. He's Judd Utermark. Ole Miss baseball opens SEC play this weekend against number 3 Arkansas. Ole Miss men's basketball plays top-ranked Auburn tomorrow after advancing today with the last-second shot from Sean Pedulla to defeat Arkansas. What a fun time to be an Ole Miss Rebel, and what a great time as always to talk to my man Judd. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Appreciate you.